Let's do cocaine. Hey, you got some cocaine over there, Bear?
You like a de coca?
Let's do a little cocaine, Bear.
Cocaine Bear is a 2023 film directed by Elizabeth Banks, starring Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson, Alden Ehrenreich, Christian Convery, I think that's what it is.
Nailed it.
Brooklyn Prince, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Margot Martindale, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and Ray Liotta. R.I.P. Ray Liotta.
I did not like his look in this movie at all. He was hard to look at.
Well, he was
hard to
dying.
recognize
He was
in the
dying.
trailer.
He was dying.
A little bit. I don't think he was because he was dying. I think it was the wig.
He was,
I think it was the
he
era.
was weeks away from death.
He was horrifying.
70% Rotten Tomatoes. This is in theaters now. I don't have a lot of notes for this movie, Anderson. It is what it is, as they say, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. Here it's an okay thing. Cocaine Bear I found enjoyable, I guess, for what it was. I have a hard time grabbing people by the lapels and saying, you must see
Always
Cocaine
by the
Bear.
lapels? Why not
Always
the hoodie?
lapels.
It's always lapels.
Because
Everyone in
hoodie's
your street.
aggressive, right? You know what I mean? The lapels, yeah. I live in a well-dressed neighborhood.
Yeah, everywhere you go, you just imagine people in lapels.
That's right, with
wandering
their
the
folded over a yellow belt. But I don't know. For me, it was what it was, which was a not a bad way to waste 90 minutes.
I think I would have liked this one a whole lot more if it was better.
That's fair.
And I think I'm spoiled. I think a lot of us are spoiled who watch a whole lot of movies, and we come to a place where we expect a certain level of humor. And I think, if I hadn't seen things like Psycho Gorman recently, I think this one would have tickled the funny bone. But we're kind of spoiled with seeing very good comedy, and this was going for that same type of lane as Psycho Gorman, but it didn't even come close to reaching it. Now, if you don't go see many movies and you like your comedy to be broad and you like some good gore, I mean, you're gonna get a lot out of this. The audience, for the most part, laughed at most of the parts they're supposed to. There were some real clunky lines that got no reaction though, which was hard to hear. I thought usually I'm the only one, and I'm just really pissed when everyone's laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of a world do I live in where people think that's funny?
There were some lines of dialogue that were reaching for a reaction.
But it's kind of like what Bruce said earlier, who's my replacement over there on Cinematics most weeks. Bruce Perky breaks down a movie way better than I ever could. He's like one of those master sushi chefs.
Oh wow!
Takes the nice ahi straight out of the ocean, just fucking butchers it, takes it down. But yeah. I wish I liked it more. I heard Elizabeth
Isn't that
Banks.
funny that butchered it is like considered, you butchered it like it's a negative thing, but it's like, no, if you're a good butcher, you actually cut it really well.
Usually those butchers are the best ones. They're selling to people lapels.
That's true. Oh, absolutely. Lapels all day.
Avery forwarded us a link to Elizabeth Banks on Coco, on Conan O'Brien. I listened to part of that, and I really liked the incentive for her wanting to do this movie, which was the story, the true story. It's getting a lot of mileage out of like this is based on a true story. The true story is like the drugs were thrown out of the plane. Most of them weren't even found. God knows where those bags ended up. They did find a dead bear next to one kilo that was ripped open, and that bear, I guess, when they cut it open, like it's hard. Most of its organs had exploded.
It wouldn't let bias.
And it was like a total. To hear Elizabeth Banks say it, it was like a total like footnote. Like it was just a tiny little, like aside. Like, oh, isn't that funny? Now here's what the real story is. And she liked the idea of the bear getting vengeance all these years later, and I too appreciate that.
Fun. This movie had stretches that were effective. Like there were scenes and sequences that were very, very good. There were also scenes and sequences that went on kind of too long as filler or plot or exposition. And it was like, this movie is frosting. You know what I mean? There's no cake. It's just frosting. Give us the frosting. And there was a lot of cake.
In hearing Elizabeth Banks talk about it a little bit, I do get the sense, and she never came out and said, at least the part that I heard, I do get the sense that some higher ups, maybe some men, tried to mansplain some things to her and try to say, hey, we got this, and try to rework some things. Because like there's one scene towards the end where we just don't see this in big movies very often, where they're like, remember when this happened 10 minutes ago? And then they flash back to 10 minutes ago. Obviously they reworked some things and recut some things. And I don't, because Elizabeth Banks is very talented. She's very funny. And I get the sense that she didn't have all the
total
control. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this thing had some tonal issues for me. For me.
Yeah. Me.
Maybe some people like it. That's all. If it was better, I like it a whole lot more.
There were some very good and funny and scary sequences. The stuff in the ranger station was great. The stuff in the ambulance, which is almost the same sequence. That whole sequence was fantastic. That was the heart of the movie. I enjoyed that very much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, show us more of that.
I agree.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, of course, of course. But it's whoever made the trailer should also get a raise.
The trailer is magnificent.
Yes.
Indeed.
And walking up to the theater, I saw with my sister, and I said, "I'm sorry, Ashley, that this is the movie you're coming to see with me. I have a feeling that it's not going to be nearly as good. Stop wiping things.
I'm not wiping
you're,
anything.
you're like a child."
I'm fidgeting with my nails. I'm not wiping anything.
But it I had that sense that
Like
it was
a cat
it
with a scratch.
I really am. Yeah.
I knew we all had to know it wasn't going to come close to the trailer because it's really one of the greatest trailers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just like, holy shit, when, please? And that fucking White Line song is rocking. It's a great trailer. However, the poster's great. The marketing's fantastic.
Yeah.
for this
This is a triumph of marketing.
Is the poster not a direct ripoff of the Sin City campaign?
I mean, it's not cocaine in the Sin City, though, right?
But I mean the
high
white,
contrast,
black, and the
white.
red. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a great, I don't know if it's a social media account or a website. Maybe someone can find it and remind me of it, showing how there is not that much variation in movie posters. Like they're all kind of iterations of the same 6 ideas, and they go to great lengths to show, oh, this is the close up of the guy with the people in the background. This is the archetypes. If someone can find that for me, I found that fascinating. That said, all movie posters are more or less the same.
Yeah, it's like Sin City meets 300 with the poster.
Yeah, they're all iterations of the same germ, same idea. Anyway, 3-star movie, enjoyable, certainly worth a stream or a rent for $3 when it becomes available.
And it's not even one of those ones where I'm like furious because they had so much to work with. They didn't have a whole lot to work with.
No,
They had,
this
a
is
bear.
fabricated.
Yeah.
This is rock soup.
It's just like they got a bear. It's on drugs. Let's see what we can do with it. Like you know what would have helped it a whole lot is a really good score, like a leitmotif for that bear, like Jaws, but something different. And every time the bear is coming around, because there was a lot of that, like the bear is lurking, the bear is coming, but it didn't have. It was just like stings, and I was like, why didn't they have some better? They
had all quiet.
Yes.